Well, hello, I'm back. It's been a long winter. Snow is just starting to melt off the ground here. It's beginning to become spring, and I think that's what's happening in crypto also. Gosh, wow, what a ride down from since November. I've had a couple of posts that talked about this downtrend. Um, and I really just stopped coming on and posting anything because as much as every time I thought I was going to do something, I just I wasn't paying enough attention, and I just felt like I was going to lose my coins, and so I just told myself I said I was going to stay in for a year. That's probably really bad investment advice. This is not investment advice. This is just my journey um, about what I'm doing in crypto. But so anyway, I really just for almost about a month I just didn't pay much attention. I mean, I really stopped looking at coin tracker every day because it was just scary. um, but I didn't put in more than I could afford to lose, so I didn't want to lose any at all. But I really never got I probably got down. um, I want to say my portfolio was probably about 40% down from where I started, and then it kind of crept up a little bit. That was at the worst, and now it's about 20% down, and things are looking good. So feeling good about that. I like the coins that I own right now. I just went in and revisited my coins and like looked at some of the things that um, I might do. The only thing that I'm really considering, because I don't want to put a bunch of more money into the system, I have plenty in there. But if we're about to get into an altcoin season, which it looks like we might be, then I want to move some of my money from a few that I'm kind of indifferent about to some of these really low. Like I'll probably go in and buy some Sia coin or Sia coin, however you want to say it. I owned that last year. I bought it because it was the cheapest coin, and like at this point at the moment I can't tell you exactly even what they do. I think it's a global internet or something like that. That's probably wrong, but anyway, I'm probably going to go in and buy some Sia coin because it's still less than, it's like 1 penny, 1.5 cent. So, for $100, you can get quite a lot of coins. And then that's the one that I think at its peak, I think it got up to 10 cents or something like that. So I'll probably look through. Verge does that very frequently. And I don't know why. I think it's just bottom line. And Carter Thomas was talking about too, cheap coins tend to be pumped coins. And I think a lot of the people who were kind of getting into the scene and maybe buying in a few coins and buying some of those cheap coins just have left. But if we get this hype coming back to crypto, those people will come back, and so that's my logic there. So a couple of things that happened. There was a huge spike on Bitcoin. It jumped about $1,000 in an hour yesterday morning at 4 a.m. Today is the 13th, so it was on the 12th. um, there were a whole bunch of people that were shorting Bitcoin. um, Box Mining just did a really good, he did a live talk on the 12th. So if you want to watch that, he goes in and describes really well what shorting is, and he describes them getting wiped out and what that means, and really it kind of just, he does a good job of kind of breaking it down into some real layman's terms. Um, Carter Thomas he mentioned an article, and I'm going to go follow that from Pantera Capital. So we had that big spike. So probably because there was a ton of money and a ton of people um, off on the sidelines or doing shorting these coins, and then they were all coming due, is my understanding, and then we had this huge spike. Nobody, I don't know if we know that's why it spiked. We don't. There's no logical reason, really. I don't think why it spiked. Somebody just decided it was time who happened to own a lot of coins. So Pantera Capital released yesterday. They are a kind of a crypto fund, kind of a hedge fund. They got into the scene really early with a whole bunch of money. They are worth a lot of money. Um, and you can go and look them up. But they put out newsletters, and Carter Thomas had referred to them as just They really watch the space. They have some good information. So I will go and log on and start reading their newsletters on a regular basis. Um, but they put out a statement saying that the worst is over and that we are back and crypto is going to start going up. He said they've only put out information like that. They've only made 3 calls since 2014, so it's a pretty big deal for them to be willing to say that. Um, and then there was another gentleman, Tim Draper. Tim or Jim? Can't always read my own writing. Tim Draper. He came out. So Tim Draper was big on in the scene because he bought all of the coins off of the Silk Road from the FBI when the FBI confiscated that guy's coins. He bought those at whatever price. So he has thousands of Bitcoin. Um, so he said yesterday that by 2022, Bitcoins are going to be worth $250,000. And you can take all of these statements with a grain of salt. I don't think anybody can predict the future, but what we do need and what we saw last time and what this looks like it might be beginning to say again is that these guys have decided it's time for Bitcoin to go up. They're going to use their power and their influence and the credibility behind their name to start get it out there and boosting it up again. The difference is that Pantera Capital has so much money that they can really swing a market where it takes a while for the individual investors to bump something up. But the amount, billions of dollars have come into the market since just yesterday, which is mind blowing. So, anyway, that's kind of where we are. I'm going to watch. My long term goal is still to ride this out for a year. My hope is that I am working on kind of doubling my investment. I don't know, maybe let's go 25 times, but even if I doubled it, I'm trying to invest in some new condos and build some on some land I have, and so I'm hoping that I can take my down payment and grow it to the point where I can then invest in real estate. So that's kind of my long-term goal. I'll probably always keep something in here for the hopes that it might provide a secondary retirement, but I'm in it for the year, so we'll see. So I'm going to sign out. It was good to be back on screen, and hopefully I get to talk more frequently because we have stuff going on. So I hope you hold during that horrible, horrible winter. Talk to you soon.